Hi, I'm Toffer, and as ever, welcome to my spare room. Now recently I talked about my top 5 video game movies. Very difficult thought process, but managed to put something together. There'll be a card something there for it. So I thought about, what video games do I think would make good movies? So I started having a little bit of a scour into my collection and having a bit of a Google search and having a look around about some games that I thought would be really good to be translated over. And it's really difficult. The amount of games that have been transferred over, the amount of games that are in production or development hell, is ridiculous. So the amount of options out there is stupid. But I thought I'd have a look and kind of come up with 5 games, not a top 5, just 5 games that I thought would make really good films. So as usual, I like my rules, so I'm going in with a couple. It can't have a film out already, individually or in part of the series. As much as I'd love to see a film based on Silent Hill 2, there's already Silent Hill films, can't do it. As much as I'd love to see like a Final Fantasy 8 film, there are Final Fantasy films, can't include it. So no films already based within that series, within that world. Another, I'm kind of going to have a rule book to work with, so if it's in production, whether that be actually happening or in production hell, whatever, I can't include it. Now my guidebook, my Bible for this is going to be the fully trustworthy Wikipedia, because I'm not spending hours traipsing the internet trying to find one little nugget of information that Game X is in production. So if I did that, I'd probably find out someone somewhere is making a game based on that Roller Coaster Tycoon or something. Not a game I'm making, by the way, just, So I need something to hold on to say don't make this. I was going to include potentially something like The Witcher 3, but The Witcher 3 has done so well as a TV show, and I think it's perfect for a TV show. There's one film I know for a fact that is in my list that I think would be best as a TV show. Part of me is tempted to do that video as well, 5 games that make great TV shows, but in all honesty I think most video games would actually work better as a TV show. Now if you think about it, a game like The Last of Us or any other game out there, you're playing this thing for 20 plus hours. Some of the short ones, 8 to 9 hours. Your film's 2 hours long. You're trying to put everything you encapsulate in this film in 2 hours. It's impossible. You cannot turn this into a cohesive film and incorporate everything that's in this. You could do aspects, but you're never going to have a happy person. No matter what video game film gets made, no one is 100% happy with it. No one. I love the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. Rewatched it the other day. I still love it, but my god is it pretty awful at the same time. You're always going to have aspects that are just not right. They're going to cut things, they're going to add things, because it's a different medium. They need to get the story across quicker. The opening to this game, just to get into the actual game, it's a good half hour long. You're not going to get that in this. If they were to transfer this into a film, which I actually think they're doing, if they were to transfer this into a film, that half an hour would shut down to 5 minutes. And it wouldn't have the impact. And this is something that ruins video game film. Heck, it's something that ruins books. You taking all this and transferring it down to this, it's so difficult to do. I don't envy the people that are making these video game films, these adaptations of books, these adaptations of anything. It's a nightmare. Apart from Uwe Boll, dickhead, piss off. I'm throwing a fight me now. So yeah, that's my plan. 5 films. They're in no order, apart from number 1. Number 1 is going to be the film I'd love to see the most. The other 4, no particular order, they're just in there. So 5 games that I think have been brilliant films. So let's have a look into it then. Now let's be fair, The Elder Scrolls would work so much better as a TV show. The lore, the world, everything is just too large to try and fit into a film. Tamriel is such a huge location, there's just too much to try and fit into one film. So even if they were to take, say, Skyrim, they wouldn't get the entirety of that story into what would have to be at least a 3-hour film. If they were to just take the basic story, the main story, ignore all the side quests, you could probably cut a lot out and get it into 3 hours, but you would miss out so much fantastic storylines. This is why this needs to be a series, so you can fit in every aspect that would get missed. You need to bring in the likes of Oblivion, of Shivering Isles, of Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood. Everything like that would work so much better in a TV series. I think the only real way you could fit an Elder Scrolls film together would be to ignore everything that has been and create its own individual story in the world of Tamriel. Because if you tried to base it on one of the games, yeah, you're instantly in for a fall, let's be fair. Okay, I'm going to admit this is a little bit of a stupid one, but I think it would be a fascinating concept. Katamari as a game is bright, colourful, upbeat, bubbly. I'm imagining a horror film, because let's be fair, you are the prince, and you're pushing around a ball that's picking up items, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you go from picking up paper clips to rats, to cats, to dogs, to humans, to cars. And it just keeps getting bigger until it gets big enough that the king of all cosmos takes it away and creates a new star or a new planet in the sky, and then it starts again. So I've got Godzilla vibes going on in my head at the moment, where the Katamari ball's rolling towards everyone and they're just running away, yelling and screaming. And yeah, okay, it's a stupid idea, but I just love it. Now, the fact that this one isn't actually in production is kind of a shock to me. God of War. I want to sit here and talk about how good this would be as a film, but if you've played the games or know anything about it, you can see it already. It's huge. It would just be a constant action set piece after action set piece. And as long as Michael Bay kept his sticky fingers away from it, it would potentially work. You've got big burly Kratos running around Greek mythology, taking on all of the gods. How can that not be massively epic? I have nothing more to say about this. It'd be huge. Now, I can't be the only one that saw the IGN April Fool's joke trailer of The Legend of Zelda and think, yes, they're doing it at last, only to get, hit in the face with the fact that it was an April Fool's gag. But The Legend of Zelda is just ripe for a film. The great thing with the series is because every single story is based in different time zones, in different locations, in different dimensions of sorts. You could do anything with a film because it doesn't actually have to follow any of the stories that already exist. They can create their own thing, and it would work as a film. It'd have to be one of the longer 2.5, 3 hour long films to fit as much story in, to try and bring in all of the main characters, have Link running around, and imagine a film with a silent protagonist. It's not always the easiest of things. It's doable, but pretty difficult. But bringing in Link and Zelda and Ganon and all the different races that there are within the world of Hyrule, it'd be an interesting one. I'd love to see a Legend of Zelda film, and I definitely think if they were going to do one, they'd have to create their own story for it. Okay, now, I know this is a little bit of a cheat, because in essence, this game has already been made into a film. Monkey Island is my childhood. I've always loved the series. Every aspect of it has always brought me back. I can't help but play the game regularly, just because it makes me smile. And I know we've got the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which Monkey Island was quite hugely based on. But I want to see Guybrush Threepwood running around trying to become a pirate, doing some insult sword fighting, going and meeting Stan and trying to get the boat to take him to Monkey Island, and everything on Monkey Island, the final battle with LeChuck and everything like that. That's what I want to see, not Johnny Depp falling over himself and dragging a film series on for centuries. I want to see the bright, colourful world of Monkey Island, and it's got such a lore behind it, especially if we ignore anything past Game 2. There is so much about this series that would work. I personally would prefer to keep it animated. I think it would look a lot better, and it also means with it being animated, we can get Dominic Amato back as the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, because no one else can be Guybrush.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die.
The other voices, none of them really stick with me, but he is Guybrush, and I need that voice in my life as Guybrush Threepwood in the film. Please. Please. Pretty please. Thanks very much for watching my video as usual. Do thoroughly appreciate it. If there are any games that you thought of that would make great films, stick a comment in. I'd love to hear everyone else's views. If you've not already subscribed, please subscribe. There'll be a thing over here for it somewhere. And I have made quite a few other videos, links over here. But one person I would like to thank is one of my subscribers, John. He's the guy who actually came up with the idea for this video, so thanks very much for that. It was a great idea and it was great fun putting this together, so thanks very much for that, mate. So yeah, that was an interesting little one. Quite a few games I couldn't include, which was a little bit frustrating, but got to put rules in places, haven't you? Thanks for that.